Hey everyone, so I've been seeing a lot of buzz around these Nikon Monarch HG 10x30 binoculars lately. People keep asking what makes them stand out, especially if they're into birdwatching, hiking, or just general outdoor observation. I finally got my hands on a pair, and after using them for a few weeks, I think I've got a good sense of whether they're worth the attention. If you're curious about the details, the link is in the description so you can check them out on Amazon. First off, the clarity is really impressive. These binoculars use ED glass, which stands for extra low dispersion. What that means for you is sharper images with less color fringing, especially when you're looking at something far away. I took them out to a local park where I usually struggle to see birds clearly with my older pair. With these, the detail in the feathers and the contrast against the sky was noticeably better. It's the kind of thing that makes a difference when you're trying to spot a specific species or just enjoy the scenery without squinting. Another thing that stands out is the wide field of view. Nikon calls it a master open design, and honestly, it feels like it. When I was scanning the treeline, I didn't have to move my head as much to keep something in sight. That's a big deal if you're tracking wildlife or watching a fast-moving subject like a kayaker on a river. The 10x magnification gives you a good balance between detail and stability. It's enough to see clearly without the image getting too shaky if you're not using a tripod. Now, let's talk about durability. These binoculars are built to handle the elements. They're nitrogen-filled and O-ring sealed, which means they're both waterproof and fogproof. I took them out in some light rain just to test it, and they held up fine. No fogging inside the lenses either, even when I went from a cold car into a warm house. That's a huge plus if you're someone who spends a lot of time outdoors in unpredictable weather. Plus, they're surprisingly lightweight for how sturdy they feel. At around 16 ounces, they're easy to carry on a hike without feeling like you're lugging extra weight. The comfort-focused design is another detail that makes these binoculars stand out. They've got a locking diopter, which is a small adjustment wheel that helps you fine-tune the focus for your eyes. Once you set it, it stays put, so you don't have to keep readjusting it every time you hand them to someone else. The eye cups are also twist-up, which is great if you wear glasses. I found I could get a full field of view without any glare or obstruction, even with my eyeglasses on. One thing I really appreciate is how well they perform in low light. The multicoated optics help gather as much light as possible, so even at dusk or dawn, the image stays bright and clear. I tested this during a sunset hike, and I was still able to see the details of the landscape without everything looking too dark or washed out. That's a game changer if you're an early riser or like to do some stargazing. Now, I'll be honest, no product is perfect. The only thing I noticed is that the 10x magnification might be a bit much if you're not used to it. It can make the image a little shaky if you're holding the binoculars by hand without stabilizing yourself. A tripod or leaning against something steady helps, but it's something to keep in mind if you're used to lower magnification like 8x. Also, the close focus distance is about 6.5 feet, which is fine for most outdoor activities, but if you're into insect observation or something super close-up, you might need a different pair. Overall, though, these Nikon Monarch HG binoculars are a solid choice if you're looking for something reliable, clear, and comfortable for outdoor use. They're not the cheapest option out there, but the build quality and performance justify the price. If you're in the market for a new pair, they're definitely worth considering. So, if you want to check out the Nikon Monarch HG 10x30 binoculars, the link is below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.